Have you ever been in the middle of a great English conversation or story and suddenly you hit a wall? A single word you don't know and the entire flow is broken. You reach for your phone, you translate, but you know you'll probably forget it in 5 minutes. What if you could break free from that cycle forever? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English in Moments. I'm Elena, your host for today's lesson. For any new viewers, we're dedicated to helping you achieve real fluency with new lessons every day. Today, I'm not just teaching you vocabulary. I'm going to show you how to unlock a superpower that every fluent English speaker has: the ability to understand new words without a dictionary. We're going to turn you into a word detective. You'll learn the secrets of using context as your magnifying glass, guessing meanings like a pro, and seeing the hidden clues in English word patterns. This isn't about memorizing lists. It's about learning to think in English. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to read books and watch movies without constant interruptions, and your vocabulary will start to grow naturally every single day. If you're ready for that transformation, make sure you've subscribed and hit the bell so you don't miss our daily lessons. Now, take a deep breath. It's time to unlock your new English superpower. Let's get started. Let's be honest, learning English vocabulary can feel like trying to climb a huge mountain. You see thousands of words and think you have to memorize every single one. But the biggest trap many learners fall into is relying too much on their dictionary. Each time you stop and translate, you're not really learning. You're just borrowing a definition for a moment, which slows you down and stops your brain from understanding things naturally. So today we're going to break that habit. We're going to train your mind to do something amazing, to understand new words all on your own. Imagine this. You're reading a story and you hit a new word. The flow is broken. You feel a little panic. Grab your phone and look it up. You see the translation, nod, and continue. But an hour later, that word has completely vanished from your memory. Why? Because a simple translation is like a temporary sticker. It doesn't truly become a part of your vocabulary. The real goal is to train your brain to stay calm, become a word detective, and use the context to make an intelligent guess. This connects the word to the story, to an image, and to a feeling. Let's start training that detective skill together right now. Imagine you read this sentence. He sprinted down the field to score the winning goal. Now maybe you don't know the word sprinted. Instead of stopping and checking, you look around the sentence. You see field and winning goal. You also know that a player must move very quickly to score a goal, so you can guess that sprinted probably means ran very fast. And guess what? You're right. That's exactly how you start learning words without a dictionary. Here's another practice example for you. Read this sentence slowly with me. The old house was decrepit, with peeling paint and broken windows. Now, maybe decrepit is new for you, but look carefully. You see old house, peeling paint, and broken windows. This is a house in bad condition. So decrepit must mean worn out or in poor condition. And again, you've understood it without translation. Take a moment and repeat the sentence after me slowly. The old house was decrepit, with peeling paint and broken windows. Say it again with me, but this time imagine a very old, run-down house. This helps your brain remember the meaning naturally. You see, words are not just about letters. They are about feelings, images, actions, and emotions. If you connect the word to an experience in your mind, you don't need a dictionary. This is why context is your biggest teacher. Now let's talk about daily life situations. Suppose you go to a restaurant and you hear the waiter say, "I'll be right back with your entree." Maybe entree is new to you, but look at the situation. You are in a restaurant and the waiter is talking about a dish. It must be the main course of the meal. Yes, entree means the main dish. Isn't it amazing how you can discover meanings just from the environment? Here's another real life exercise for you to practice. Imagine you're watching a movie and one character says, "He was a benevolent king, always helping the poor." If benevolent is new, don't stop the movie. Just look at the situation. He's a king who helps the poor. Benevolent must mean kind and generous. Repeat it with me. Benevolent means kind and generous. Now try saying the sentence out loud. He was a benevolent king. Picture a kind ruler helping his people while you say it. The key idea here is that your brain is much smarter than you think. It has the ability to solve little puzzles when you see or hear new words. Every sentence gives you hints, like a detective solving a mystery. And the more you practice, the stronger this skill becomes. Let's do a little mini exercise right now to test your detective skills. Listen to this sentence. The students were lethargic after the long exam and just wanted to go home. Which word might be new for you? Yes, lethargic. Now think. They had a long exam and just wanted to go home. What do people feel after a long, difficult test? They feel very tired and slow. So, lethargic must mean sluggish or lacking energy. Say it with me. Lethargic means sluggish or lacking energy. Good job. This is exactly how you grow your vocabulary naturally. Now let's build on this with repetition practice. I will give you a few sentences and you try to guess the meaning of the new word in each. Don't worry if your guess is not perfect, because even guessing is training your brain to think in English. Ready? The tiny puppy was cowering under the bed during the loud thunderstorm. What could cowering mean? Think about a puppy, a loud thunderstorm, and being under a bed. A small animal hides in fear. So cowering means hiding in fear. Say it with me slowly. Cowering means hiding in fear. Here's the next one. The old car was stalled in the middle of the road. The new word is stalled. The situation is an old car in the middle of the road. It's not moving. So, stalled means stopped and unable to move. Say it with me. Stalled means stopped and unable to move. Another one. The professor's lecture was very concise and easy to follow. The new word is concise. Think about an easy to follow lecture. It must be short and clear. So, concise means brief and to the point. Say it with me. Concise means brief and to the point. Each time you do this exercise, you are actually training your brain to stop translating and to start thinking in English. And the more you do it, the faster you become at understanding new words instantly. Here's a very powerful trick I want to share with you. Instead of trying to memorize words alone, always keep them inside a story or a picture in your mind. For example, don't just learn the word cowering. Imagine a small dog during a storm, trembling and hiding under a bed. That picture will stick in your memory much longer than a dictionary definition. Let's try a longer practice passage now. Listen carefully. After the long meeting, he felt a sudden craving for a sweet snack, so he went to the vending machine. The new word is craving. You can guess from the sentence, he just finished a long meeting and wants a sweet snack. A sudden, strong feeling of wanting something. That's a craving. Craving means a powerful desire for something. Repeat it with me. Craving means a powerful desire. Now say the whole sentence again. He felt a sudden craving for a sweet snack. Notice how your mind connects the feeling to the word. That's how you build vocabulary naturally. Another one. The company's new policy was met with a lot of dissent from the employees. The new word is dissent. The sentence tells you about a new policy and employees. The employees are not happy, so they are in disagreement. So dissent means disagreement or opposition. Repeat it with me. Dissent means disagreement. Then say, the new policy was met with dissent. Great job. The secret to mastering vocabulary is practice, practice, and more practice. You don't need to memorize endless word lists. You need to meet words inside real situations again and again. That's why listening, reading, and speaking are so important. They give your brain thousands of opportunities to notice patterns and absorb words naturally. As we continue, I'll give you even more examples, exercises, and little stories that will help you strengthen this skill. And by the end of this lesson, you'll realize that you don't have to be afraid of unknown words anymore. Instead, you can welcome them as chances to grow. Sometimes when learners see a new word, they immediately think, I don't know this, so I can't understand the sentence. But this is not true. You don't always need to know the exact dictionary meaning to understand the whole idea. In fact, native speakers often guess meanings too when they read complex texts or hear technical terms. What matters most is catching the general idea, the feeling, and the purpose of the word. Let me give you an example. Imagine this sentence. The doctor prescribed a new medicine for his patient. Now suppose you don't know prescribed. Do you stop? No. You look at doctor, new medicine, and patient. A doctor usually tells a patient what medicine to take, so prescribed must mean instructed or authorized. Even if you don't know the exact dictionary definition, your understanding is correct enough for the story. That's the power of context. Here's a practice exercise for you. Say this sentence out loud with me. The doctor prescribed a new medicine for his patient. Now close your eyes and imagine the scene. A doctor writing on a small paper for a patient. That mental image locks the meaning of prescribed into your brain without translation. Let's try another one together. The family went on an expedition to the Amazon rainforest. Maybe the word expedition is new to you, but think, a family, the Amazon rainforest. People don't usually go for a simple walk there. They go on a long journey for a specific purpose. So, expedition means a journey or trip, usually for a specific purpose. Say it with me. Expedition means a journey for a purpose. Now repeat the sentence. The family went on an expedition to the Amazon rainforest. Can you feel the adventurous mood of the word? That's how you learn without a dictionary. This method works everywhere in daily life. If you are watching TV and you hear a character say, I was perplexed by the mysterious message, you don't need a dictionary. You know from the scene maybe they are looking at a puzzle or a strange note. Perplexed must mean very confused or puzzled. You guessed it right. Now repeat with me. Perplexed means confused. Let's practice more with short stories because stories give you rich context. Listen carefully. The children built a fortress out of blankets and pillows to hide from their parents. Which word might be new here? Yes, fortress. Now think. Blankets and pillows, hiding. It must mean a strong structure built for defense. So, fortress means a strong building or place. Repeat it with me. Fortress means a strong place. Now say the sentence. The children built a fortress out of blankets and pillows. Your brain remembers it because you connected it with children having fun. Here's another short story. The ancient book was fragile, and its pages had to be turned with great care. Maybe fragile is new for you, but if something has to be handled with great care, what could it be? Something very delicate or easily broken. Yes, fragile means easily broken. Repeat with me. Fragile means easily broken. Then say, the ancient book was fragile. The wonderful thing about this practice is that you are training your mind to become flexible. You don't freeze when you meet new words. You smile and think, okay, let me play detective. Let me guess. And when you guess, even if you are not perfect, you are strengthening your understanding and memory. Now let's do some shadowing practice. This is where you will repeat after me slowly and clearly to train your pronunciation and memory. Are you ready? Let's begin. The first sentence is, the politician gave a vague answer and didn't provide any details. Now please repeat that sentence with me. The politician gave a vague answer and didn't provide any details. Excellent. So, what could the word vague mean here? Let's look at the clues. The sentence says the politician didn't provide any details. If an answer has no details, it must be unclear or not specific. That's exactly right. Vague means unclear or not specific. Let's move to the next one. The sentence is, she gave a spontaneous speech without any notes or preparation. Please repeat it after me. She gave a spontaneous speech without any notes or preparation. So what does spontaneous mean? The sentence tells us she had no notes or preparation. Anything done without a plan is spontaneous. It means unplanned. To help you remember, try saying the word softly to yourself right now. Spontaneous. And for our last practice sentence, he was captivated by the magician's tricks. Now it's your turn to repeat it. He was captivated by the magician's tricks. Let's think about the word captivated. If you are watching a magician's tricks, you are probably completely fascinated. That is what captivated means. It means to be completely fascinated by something beautiful or interesting. Let's say that meaning one more time together. Captivated means completely fascinated. This method of practicing words inside full sentences is incredibly natural. You aren't just memorizing definitions, you are experiencing the words in context. This is exactly how native speakers expand their vocabulary every day. Let me share another powerful trick to make words truly memorable. Connect them to your own life. Take the word spontaneous, which we just learned. Try to remember a time you made a spontaneous decision, like going out for ice cream with a friend without any plan. That personal connection locks the word into your memory. Let's try it right now with a quick life connection practice. Think about your yesterday. Did you do anything spontaneous? Perhaps you watched a movie you hadn't planned to see. You can say to yourself, I made a spontaneous decision to watch that movie. Or maybe you had a spontaneous dinner with your family. When you connect a word to a real memory, it becomes yours. This is how learning truly sticks. As we continue, we'll explore even more strategies, but always remember the most important rule: Every sentence provides clues. The story, the feeling, and the situation are all pointing you toward the meaning. With practice, your brain will learn to see these clues instantly. One of the strongest skills you can develop as an English learner is the ability to notice word families. Many words are connected to each other by a root or a small piece that carries meaning. Once you learn one word, you can guess the meaning of many others that look similar. This is another way to understand words without depending on a dictionary. For example, think about the word sense. You probably know this one. Now, if you see sensory, what does it mean? Of course, relating to the senses. And if you see sensible, it means having good judgment. Just from the root sense, you can understand 3 or more words. That's how your vocabulary grows naturally. Let's practice with another root, the word graph. If you know graph means to write or draw, then you can also guess autograph means a person's own signature. Biography means the story of a person's life, and paragraph means a section of writing. All of these are related. You didn't need a dictionary for any of them. Now repeat after me slowly to train your brain. Graph, autograph, biography, paragraph. Feel the rhythm. Can you sense how they are all connected? Good. This pattern is everywhere in English, and once you start noticing it, you can learn dozens of words from just one root. Here's a small exercise for you. I'll give you a base word, and you try to think of related forms. Ready? The base word is port. Take a second. What comes to mind? Yes, export, import, transport, portable. All of these are connected to carrying something. You understood them without opening a dictionary, just by recognizing the family. Let's do another one together, the word vis. What forms can we make? Visible, invisible, vision, visual. Again, all connected. This shows you that words are not lonely islands. They are part of a big family, and when you see a new member, you can guess its meaning because of the family resemblance. Now, let's shift to context clues inside sentences. There are usually 4 types of clues that help you understand new words. First, sometimes the sentence gives you a direct explanation. For example, the team felt jubilant or extremely happy after they won the championship. The phrase "or extremely happy" tells you the definition immediately. Second, sometimes the sentence uses examples. For instance, the garden was filled with diverse plants such as roses, tulips, and lilies. Even if you didn't know diverse, you understand from the examples. Third, sometimes the sentence contrasts the new word with something familiar like this. Unlike the turbulent waters of the ocean, the lake was calm and peaceful. If you know calm and peaceful, then turbulent must mean the opposite, something that is not calm. Fourth, sometimes the sentence gives you a feeling through tone or mood. For example, he gave a ferocious roar and scared everyone away. Even if ferocious is new, you feel the mood of the roar. It must mean very fierce and angry. Let's practice together with some of these clues. Here's one. The students were diligent in their studies, so they always got good grades. What does diligent mean? Look at the clue. Always got good grades. It means they worked hard. So diligent must mean hardworking. Say it with me. Diligent means hardworking. Another one. The old tome, a very large and heavy book, contained ancient secrets. The word is tome. Think about the atmosphere. A very large and heavy book. It must mean a large, heavy book. Say it with me. Tome means a large, heavy book. Now repeat the full sentence out loud. Let's try one more. She was resilient after the difficult time, unlike her brother who was easily defeated. What does resilient mean? The clue is unlike easily defeated. So resilient must mean able to recover quickly. Yes, say it with me. Resilient means able to recover. Good job. These little exercises may seem simple, but they are training your mind to stop looking for translation and instead look for hints. Every time you do this, you are rewiring your brain to think directly in English. Now let's practice with a short story for shadowing. Please repeat after me slowly. The tired traveler slumped onto the bench, exhausted from his journey. The new word here might be slumped. From the story, you can guess it means to sit down heavily. You're right. Slumped means to sit down heavily. Say it again with me. The tired traveler slumped onto the bench. You can even try to act it out. Imagine being very tired and then sitting down heavily. That action helps you feel the word. Here's another practice story. The small village was tranquil, with no cars and only the sound of birds. The word is tranquil. From the sentence, you can imagine a quiet, peaceful scene. So, tranquil means calm and peaceful. Repeat with me. Tranquil means calm and peaceful. Now say the sentence. The small village was tranquil. Great. One more. He was elated when he received the excellent news. The new word is elated. Look at the clue. Excellent news. Elated must mean very happy. Let's say it together. Elated means very happy. Then say the sentence. He was elated when he received the excellent news. By practicing like this, you are slowly teaching your brain to notice details and connect them to meaning. This is how you can learn any new word without needing a dictionary every time. Another powerful way to understand English words is to connect them to emotions. Every word carries a certain feeling, and your brain is very good at noticing those feelings. For example, listen to this sentence. He was furious when his team lost the final match. Even if furious is new, you can feel that it is a strong, negative emotion. The team lost, so he is very angry. Furious means extremely angry. Say it with me. Furious means extremely angry. Now imagine yourself in a situation where you were very angry and repeat this sentence. I was furious when I lost. Can you feel how the emotion makes the word stay in your memory? Let's practice with another one. The children were ecstatic to finally go to the amusement park. The word is ecstatic. Notice the tone. It's positive and exciting. They are finally going to the park. So ecstatic must mean extremely happy or overjoyed. Say it with me. Ecstatic means extremely happy. Then say, they were ecstatic to finally go. Feel that happy emotion as you speak. This method works beautifully because emotions are powerful memory tools. When you tie a word to a strong feeling, your brain doesn't forget it easily. That's why stories, movies, and conversations are excellent for learning. They are full of emotions that carry words deep into your memory. Now let's do a little role play exercise. I'll give you a short scene and you repeat it after me while trying to feel the word inside it. The first one is, she was apprehensive about her job interview. Please repeat after me slowly. She was apprehensive about her job interview. Apprehensive means worried or anxious about something in the future. Can you remember a time you felt apprehensive? Maybe before a big exam or a difficult conversation. Connect that memory to this sentence and now the word belongs to you. Here is another role play. He was overjoyed when he received a scholarship to his dream university. Repeat after me. He was overjoyed when he received a scholarship to his dream university. Overjoyed means extremely happy. Feel the excitement inside your body as you say it. Smile as you repeat. I was overjoyed. This exercise helps you not only understand the word, but also embody it. And once your body and mind feel the word, you won't need a dictionary to remind you. Now, let's move into another important skill: noticing synonyms and antonyms. Synonyms are words that have similar meanings, while antonyms are opposites. If you know one word, you can often guess the other. For example, you know the word fast. If you hear the word swift, you can guess it's similar. If you hear sluggish, you can guess it's the opposite. Let's practice this with sentences. The movie was hilarious, and everyone in the theater laughed loudly. What could hilarious mean? If everyone laughed, it must mean very funny. So, hilarious is a synonym for very funny. Here's another one. The building was colossal compared to the small houses next to it. Colossal is similar to big, but much bigger. So, colossal means extremely large. Now for an antonym example. The room was squalid, unlike the clean and tidy kitchen. From the contrast, you know squalid means not clean or tidy, so it means very dirty. See how easy it is when you pay attention to clues like unlike or but? Let's try a little synonym-antonym game. Please repeat these sentences after me and guess the meanings. The soup was tepid when it arrived at the table. What does tepid mean? Think about it. A soup just arrived, but it's not hot. So tepid means lukewarm. Let's try the next one. Her personality was gregarious while her twin was introverted. Gregarious must be the opposite of introverted, which means social and outgoing. And finally, her vibrant painting made the room look dull in comparison. Vibrant and dull are opposites. Vibrant means bright and full of color. Let's say them together. Vibrant means bright, and dull means not bright. This technique is powerful because many texts and conversations naturally use comparisons. If you pay attention, you can learn words automatically. Now let's practice with shadowing again. Repeat these sentences slowly with me. He was a benevolent leader who always helped his people. Benevolent means kind and generous. Next, the ominous clouds hinted at a storm coming. Ominous suggests that something bad is going to happen. And he was ambivalent about his decision to move to a new city. Ambivalent means having mixed feelings. By repeating, feeling, and connecting, you are doing real vocabulary training that makes you independent from the dictionary. Another tip that works very well is to use your surroundings. When you walk outside, look around and try to name what you see in English. If you don't know the exact word, just describe it with words you do know. Your brain will often guess the missing piece. For example, if you don't know the word pavement, you could say, "It's the path next to the road where people walk." Later, when you hear or read the word pavement, you'll connect it instantly. Let's practice this description method. I'll give you a word, and you try to describe it in English without translating. The word is stethoscope. How can you describe it? You might say it's the thing a doctor wears around their neck to listen to a patient's heart. That's a perfect description. Now the word compass. You could say it's the tool that shows you which direction is north. Excellent. And the next word, Binoculars. You can describe it as the thing you use to see objects that are very far away. Very good. You see how you explain the words without translating? That is exactly how your brain can learn naturally. Sometimes a single picture in your mind can explain more than any dictionary. When you hear a new word, try to imagine a small scene around it. This technique is called visualization, and it makes learning much faster. For example, let's take the word loiter. If you read the sentence, the kids were loitering outside the movie theater, what do you imagine? You probably see some kids standing around without a clear purpose, just waiting. That picture shows you that loiter means to stand or wait around idly. Now repeat after me. The kids were loitering outside the movie theater. As you say it, imagine yourself standing with no purpose. Here's another example. She flounced out of the room after the argument. If the word flounced is new, close your eyes and imagine someone walking out of a room in a dramatic and angry way. That image gives you the meaning. Flounced means to walk in a dramatic and exaggerated way. Say it with me. She flounced out of the room. Feel the anger as you repeat it. Visualization also works beautifully with feelings. Imagine this sentence. He cringed when he heard the bad news. The word is cringed. If you picture his face showing embarrassment or fear, you immediately know it means to make a facial expression showing embarrassment. Say the word cringed. Now try to act it out with your own face to feel the word. Let's practice a short series together. Repeat these sentences after me while you imagine the action. The old man shuffled down the street. Shuffled means walked by, dragging his feet. The athlete sprinted to the finish line. Sprinted means ran very fast. The phone vibrated on the table. Vibrated means it made a shaking sound. Each time you say a sentence, make a small picture in your head, and the word will stay with you longer. Another powerful trick is noticing prefixes and suffixes. These are small parts added to the beginning or end of words that change their meaning. If you know these parts, you can often guess the meaning of a new word. For example, the prefix dis often means the opposite. If you know the word agree, then disagree means to not agree. If you know appear, then disappear means to not appear. It's simple but very effective. Suffixes work the same way. For example, the suffix -ment often changes a verb into a noun. Develop becomes development. Move becomes movement. Improve becomes improvement. Let's practice this with some sentences. The company's management made a good decision. Here, you can guess management means the people who manage. The movement for change was strong. A movement is the action of moving for a cause. The announcement was made. An announcement is the action of announcing. You can see the pattern without needing a dictionary. Let's shadow these together. Repeat after me slowly. The management made a good decision. The movement was strong. The announcement was made. Notice how each word describes a state or a thing. This way, you can understand dozens of new words from a single suffix. Another helpful prefix is miss, which often means wrong or badly. For example, misunderstand means to understand wrongly. Mispronounce means to say a word wrongly. Misuse means to use something wrongly. Now you can guess the meaning of these words even if you see them for the first time. Let's practice with sentences. I think there was a misunderstanding. And he was punished for his misuse of the company's property. And the child was punished for his misbehavior. Each time you meet these little building blocks in English, you are unlocking the language step by step. It's like having a secret key that opens many doors at once. Now let's bring this back to daily life. Imagine you are in a restaurant and you see an item on the menu that says non-alcoholic. Even if you have never seen it before, you know alcohol and you know that non means not. So, non alcoholic must mean not containing alcohol. You didn't check a dictionary, you just solved the puzzle. It's amazing, isn't it? This technique makes English less scary and more playful. Each unknown word becomes a mystery you can solve, and each clue makes you stronger. Another excellent way to understand English words is through repetition in different situations. When you see the same word in several contexts, your brain automatically builds a richer meaning. For example, think of the word check. If you see it in a sentence like, "Can you check if the door is locked?" Comma, you understand it means to verify something. Later, if you hear, "Can you check this book out from the library?" Comma, you realize it also means to borrow. Then, if you read, "Please write me a check for $50, you notice it means a document used to pay money. It's the same word, but with three different meanings from three different contexts. Your brain collects these little pieces and builds a full picture. You didn't need to memorize anything, you just noticed. Let's practice this together. I'll give you a word in three different sentences. Please repeat each sentence after me, and then we'll connect the meanings. The word is run. First, she can run very fast. Second, the train will run on time. And third, please don't run your computer on a low battery. Do you see how the meaning shifts? In the first sentence, run is a type of movement. In the second, it means to operate on a schedule. And in the third, it means to operate a machine. All of these meanings are connected, and with repetition, your brain stores them easily. Here's another example with the word book. Sentence 1. I am reading a good book. Sentence 2. I'd like to book a flight to London. Sentence 3. He was asked to book an appointment with the dentist. First, it means something to read. Second, it means to reserve. And third, it means to schedule. The same word has different uses. Please repeat each one after me slowly, and notice how flexible words can be. This flexibility is one of the reasons a dictionary can't always help. A dictionary might give you 10 definitions, but real life shows you the meaning through use. That's why listening and reading a lot are so powerful. The more you expose yourself to English, the more your brain connects the dots naturally. Now, let's do a little active practice. Imagine you are telling a friend about your day yesterday. You could say, "I ran a marathon." You could also say, "The bus ran late yesterday." And you might add, "My phone battery ran out." You just use the same word in 3 different ways in your own story. That's how you master vocabulary naturally. Another useful method is substitution. When you see a new word, try to replace it with a simple word you already know and see if it fits. For example, in the sentence, "The new car was pristine." Maybe you don't know pristine. You could try replacing it with new and clean. Does that fit? Yes, it does. So pristine means in perfect condition. Or, he was furious about the mistake. You can replace furious with very angry. It fits perfectly. This trick helps you stay in the flow of a conversation instead of stopping to translate. Let's practice substitution together. The food was exquisite. Let's replace exquisite with very beautiful or delicious. It works. So, exquisite means very beautiful or delicious. Next, the students were obedient to the teacher. Let's replace obedient with well behaved. That fits too. So, obedient means doing what you are told. And the child was timid around new people. Replace timid with shy. Yes, that works. Timid means shy. Every time you try this, you are training your brain to guess the meaning on the spot. Now let's add some shadowing practice with daily life sentences. Repeat after me slowly. The little boy was inquisitive about the new toy. Inquisitive means wanting to know more. Next, the car was dilapidated and rusted. Dilapidated means old and in poor condition. And the athlete was tenacious and never gave up. Tenacious means determined. Each word became clear from the sentence. You can also train this skill while reading stories or articles. When you see a new word, don't stop. Read the sentence before and the sentence after. Ask yourself, is this word describing a person, an action, a feeling, or an object? Often, the position of the word gives you the answer. For example, in the sentence, the man is industrious, the word is describing the man, so it's an adjective. Even if you don't know what industrious means, you know it is a quality of the man. That alone helps you guess the meaning. Let's do a quick exercise with this method. The flowers are fragrant. What is fragrant describing? It's describing the flowers. So it's an adjective, a quality of flowers. And since flowers usually smell nice, fragrant means having a pleasant smell. Let's try another one. The task was tedious. Task is a thing to do, so tedious is a description of the task. If a later sentence says, it took a long time and he was bored, then tedious must mean boring. This way, even the position of the word can help you. Think of words as little puzzles. When you find one, don't feel blocked. Instead, smile and say, let me solve this. Your brain will use clues, context, and your own experience to figure it out. With time, this will become automatic. Sometimes the fastest way to understand a word is not to focus on the word itself, but to focus on the story that surrounds it. Context always speaks louder than a dictionary. Let me show you how this works. Imagine you read, "The candle flickered in the dark room." If flickered is new, imagine the picture. A candle, a dark room, and light that is moving. You can guess that flickered means the light moved unsteadily, like it was going on and off quickly. Please repeat after me. The candle flickered in a dark room. Imagine that small moving flame as you say it. Let's try another one. He clenched his fist when he heard the news. Maybe clenched is new, but think about it. Fists, news, and a reaction. He is holding his hands tightly, so clenched means to close tightly in anger or stress. Repeat it with me. He clenched his fists. Try making the action with your own hands as you speak, and your brain will remember. This is the secret. Combine reading, listening, and imagining all together. When your brain gets sound, an image, and a feeling at the same time, it doesn't need to translate. The meaning stays naturally. Let's try a short story together. Listen carefully. Sarah walked into the empty classroom. The chairs were scattered and papers were strewn across the floor. She sighed, realizing she had a lot of cleaning to do. The new word here might be strewn. The clues are chairs scattered and papers on the floor. Strewn must mean spread out or thrown around. Repeat with me. The papers were strewn across the floor. Imagine the mess, and suddenly the meaning is clear. Here's another little story. After hours of hiking, they finally reached the summit of the mountain. The view was breathtaking. If summit is new, let's look at the context. Hours of hiking, on a mountain, and a view. The summit must mean the top. Now breathtaking is easier to guess. The view was so amazing and beautiful it almost takes your breath away. Repeat with me. They reached the summit of the mountain. The view was breathtaking. Feel the picture in your mind. Now let's move into daily life examples. Imagine you are in the kitchen. You hear your friends say, "The soup is simmering on the stove." If simmering is new, notice the situation. Soup, stove, and cooking. It must mean cooking slowly on low heat. Say it with me. The soup is simmering on the stove. Picture a pot of soup gently bubbling. Here is another kitchen word. She sprinkled sugar on her coffee. Maybe sprinkled is new. Think about the action. Sugar and coffee. It means to drop small amounts on top. Repeat after me. She sprinkled sugar on her coffee. Imagine yourself doing it right now. These simple actions show you that learning vocabulary is not about translation. It's about noticing life and giving names to what you already know. Now let's practice some shadowing with action verbs. Repeat each sentence slowly after me. He yawned because he was sleepy. Yawned means he opened his mouth because he was tired. The phone buzzed on the table. Buzzed means it made a vibrating sound. She hummed her favorite tune while cooking. Hummed means she made a soft sound with her lips closed. Each of these is easy to guess when you imagine the action. Here's another fun way to grow your vocabulary through exaggeration. When you act out a word with your body in a big way, it becomes unforgettable. Let's try it. Say with me, I was trembling. Now act it out with your body. Shake as if you are cold. Next say, I was cringing. Pretend to be embarrassed. And next, I was stretching. Move your arms out wide. These actions lock the meaning deeper into your memory. Words are not just ideas in your head. They are movements, pictures, and emotions. That's why you can learn any English word without translation if you connect it to your senses. See it, hear it, feel it, and act it out. And the word will stay with you. Now let's try combining everything we've learned so far. Listen carefully to this sentence. The little kittens scampered into the garden, chased a butterfly, and then pounced on a leaf. Maybe scampered and pounced are new, but look at the clues. Kittens are playful and they run quickly. So, scampered means to run quickly in a playful way. And pounced is what cats do when they jump suddenly to catch something. Repeat after me. The kitten scampered into the garden. The kitten pounced on a leaf. Picture it in your mind and smile. Now you know the words. When you begin to notice how words work, you realize that English is full of patterns. These patterns are your friends because once you recognize them, you can guess new words almost instantly. For example, think of the suffix dashful. If you know the word beautiful, you can also understand helpful, grateful, and careful. The pattern is clear. Dashful usually means full of something. Beautiful means full of beauty. Careful means full of care. Grateful means full of gratitude. You don't need a dictionary to see this, just attention to the shape of the word. Let's practice repeating them. Say slowly with me: beautiful, helpful, careful, grateful. Hear the rhythm in your voice. Now let's place them in sentences. The garden was beautiful. The teacher was helpful. Be careful with the glass. I am grateful for your kindness. Each sentence reinforces the pattern. Now let's look at the opposite suffix, dash less. It usually means without. If you know the word hope, then hopeless means without hope. If you know care, then careless means without care. And if you know fear, then fearless means without fear. Again, one pattern gives you many words. Repeat after me: hopeless, careless, fearless. Now let's use them in sentences. He felt hopeless after the exam. It was careless of me to forget. She is fearless when she speaks in public. This shows that English is like a puzzle. Each piece connects to another. And when you recognize the pieces, you can understand new words quickly. Now let's practice with some everyday examples. Listen carefully. The medicine is tasteless. What does tasteless mean? It means without taste. Next, her words were meaningless. This means without meaning. And the desert was waterless. This means without water. Say them with me now: tasteless, meaningless, waterless. Your brain connects them naturally. Another powerful prefix is redash. It usually means again. For example, rewrite means to write again. Replay means to play again. And rebuild means to build again. When you see this prefix in a new word, you can guess it has something to do with repeating an action. Let's shadow these sentences. I need to rewrite my notes. We watch the replay of the match. They will rebuild the house. Each one shows the meaning clearly. Now let's practice the prefix pre, which means before. For example, preview means to view before, predict means to say before it happens, and prepare means to get ready before. Say them slowly with me. Preview, predict, prepare. Let's use them in sentences. We watched the preview of the movie. She predicted the winner. He prepared for the trip. You see, once you know the piece pray, you can unlock many words. The same is true for miss, which often means wrong or badly. For example, misunderstand means to understand wrongly. Misplace means to put in the wrong place. And mispronounce means to say a word wrongly. Repeat after me. Misunderstand, misplace, mispronounce. Now let's place them in sentences. Don't misunderstand me. I misplaced my keys. He mispronounced the name. By noticing prefixes and suffixes, you save yourself time and energy. You don't need to look everything up. You can build meaning yourself. Now let's bring this into a real practice activity. I'll give you a short paragraph, and you try to guess the words from the patterns we learned. After the mistake, she felt helpless and hopeless, but her friend encouraged her to restart and rebuild her confidence. The new words might be helpless, hopeless, restart, and rebuild. but you already know the pieces. Less means without, so helpless means without help, and hopeless means without hope. Re means again, so restart means start again, and rebuild means build again. You just understood 4 words by recognizing small pieces. It's very powerful. Now repeat the sentences slowly with me. She felt helpless. She felt hopeless. She decided to restart. She worked to rebuild her confidence. Each repetition helps your memory grow stronger. Let's do another exercise. Listen carefully. The careless driver misplaced his wallet. But fortunately, a fearless child found it and returned it. The keywords are careless, misplaced, and fearless. You already know that careless means without care. Misplaced means put in the wrong place. And fearless means without fear. Now repeat with me. The careless driver misplaced his wallet. A fearless child found it. These little stories give you meaning without any dictionary. This is how English becomes less about memorizing and more about discovering. You are not just a student. You are a detective, finding clues, noticing pieces, and solving small puzzles. And each puzzle makes you stronger. Sometimes the best way to understand a word is not to focus on the word itself, but on the story around it. Let me show you how this works. Imagine you read, "After the long flight, she was drowsy and fell asleep immediately." Even if drowsy is new, the clues are there, a long flight, and falling asleep immediately. Drowsy must mean sleepy. Say it slowly with me. She was drowsy and fell asleep. Picture yourself after a long day, with your eyes feeling heavy and ready to sleep. Now the word feels natural. Here's another example. The crowd erupted in applause when the singer finished. The word erupted might be new, but think about it. A crowd, applause, and the singer finished. What usually happens? Everyone claps suddenly and loudly. So erupted must mean started suddenly with a lot of energy. Repeat after me. The crowd erupted in applause. Imagine the sound and feel the energy. That is how you truly learn. Notice how your brain solves problems like this. You don't need someone to explain the word in your native language. Your brain uses logic, images, and feelings. This is why you can learn English without stopping to translate. Let's practice a few more sentences together. He lingered at the door, unsure if he should leave. What does lingered mean? Think about being at the door, unsure and not leaving. Lingered means to stay for longer than usual. Say it with me. He lingered at the door. Imagine waiting and hesitating. The word is now yours. Let's try another one. The little boy was reluctant to try the new food. What does reluctant mean? Look at the sentence. New food. A little boy who is not sure and doesn't want to try. Reluctant means not willing or not eager. Say the word, reluctant. Feel that hesitation in your body. One more. The baby was giggling when her father tickled her. What is giggling? With the clues baby, father, and tickled, you can almost hear the sound in your mind. It means laughing in a light, playful way. Say the sentence. The baby was giggling. Smile as you say it because the emotion helps the word stay in your memory. These exercises are not just about vocabulary, they are about training your brain to think directly in English. Every time you guess, imagine, and repeat, you are rewiring your mind to skip translation. That is the secret to fluency. Now let's do a shadowing practice with a short story. Repeat each sentence after me. Emma glanced at the clock. Glanced means to look quickly. Next, she rushed to grab her bag. Rushed means to move fast. And she dashed out of the house. Dashed means to run quickly. Did you notice? You just learned 3 new words without a dictionary, just from context and action. Let's do another practice story. The market was bustling with people. Vendors were shouting their prices. Children darted between the stalls. Bustlin' means busy and full of activity, and darted means to move quickly. Say these sentences with me. The market was bustling. The children darted between the stalls. Imagine the lively scene. The words will stay with you. This is how powerful stories are. They make words memorable because they connect meaning, sound, and images together. Here's a tip for your daily practice. When you read or listen in English, don't pause every time you meet a new word. Keep going. Try to guess the meaning and let the rest of the story confirm your guess. Later, if you see the same word again, your guess will become stronger. After a few times, you'll know the word without ever opening a dictionary. Let's practice with a guessing game. Listen to this sentence. The old castle looked majestic on top of the hill. What does majestic mean? A castle on a hill looks impressive. So majestic means grand, beautiful, and powerful. Here's another one. She muttered something quietly. What does muttered mean? She said something, but quietly. So, muttered means to speak softly and unclearly. One more. He devoured the pizza in minutes. What does devoured mean? The clues are pizza and in minutes. He finished it quickly. So, devoured means to eat greedily and fast. Repeat each sentence with me and feel the meaning. Now imagine yourself in these situations. You might devour a meal when you are starving. You might mutter when you don't want others to hear you clearly. You might look at a majestic mountain when you travel. By connecting new words to your own life, you make them part of your vocabulary forever. This is why practice is more powerful than memorization. A dictionary gives you 1 line of meaning. Real life gives you 10 experiences, and your brain remembers experiences much longer than definitions. The more you practice understanding words without a dictionary, the more confident you will become in every situation. At first, you may worry that guessing is dangerous, but actually, guessing is the skill that native speakers use every day. Think about it. Even native speakers don't know every single word in English. When they read scientific papers or legal documents, they also meet new words. But do they stop and check each one? No. They read the whole sentence, understand the meaning from context, and move on. That is exactly what you are training yourself to do. Let's practice this mindset with a few examples. The scientist unveiled a groundbreaking discovery. If groundbreaking is new, the clue is in the word discovery. If it's a discovery, it must be new and important. So groundbreaking means very new and important. Say it with me. The scientist unveiled a groundbreaking discovery. Let's try another one. The artist sketched the outline before painting. If sketched is new, look at the context. Artist, outline, and painting. Sketched must mean to draw quickly. Say the sentence. The artist sketched the outline. Here's one more. The hiker trudged through the muddy path. The word trudged may be new, but the clue is muddy path. A hiker on a muddy path would be walking slowly and with difficulty. So trudged means to walk with effort. Say it with me. The hiker trudged through the muddy path. You guess the meaning every time without translation. Now let's do a story together. It was raining heavily. People hurried under umbrellas. One man dashed into a cafe, dripping wet. He ordered a hot drink and sighed with relief. The new words could be dashed, drippin' inside. But from the story, you know that dashed means to move quickly. Drippin' wet means water is falling from him. And sighed means to breathe out in relief. You don't need a dictionary to figure it out. Repeat with me slowly. He dashed into a cafe. He sighed with relief. Can you picture it clearly? That picture makes the words yours. Let's do another story. The library was silent. Students were bent over the books. Suddenly, someone sneezed loudly and everyone chuckled. The word sneeze may be new, but you probably know the sound. The word chuckled might be new, but think about the situation. After a loud sneeze in a silent library, people would laugh quietly. So, chuckled means to laugh softly. Say it with me. Everyone chuckled. Repeat it again while smiling, because the emotion is important. This is how natural learning works. Your brain loves stories, emotions, and pictures. That is why reading books, watching movies, and listening to conversations are more effective for vocabulary than just memorizing lists. Lists are dry, but stories are alive. Now let's try some shadowing practice. Repeat these sentences after me. She whispered a secret. Whispered means to speak very quietly. Next, he slammed the door. Slammed means to close the door loudly and with force. Next, the child crawled on the floor. Crawled means to move on hands and knees. And the phone rang suddenly. Rang means it made a sound. Each of these is easy if you imagine the action. Another practice for you is to play with opposites. If you know one side, you can often guess the other. For example, if you know hot, then cold is its opposite. If you know tall, then short is its opposite. Let's use this with sentences. The water was boiling. Boiling means very hot. So if you later see the word freezing, you can guess that it means very cold. Repeat with me. The water was boiling. The air was freezing. See how opposites can help you learn? Now let's do some active daily life practice. Imagine you are telling someone about your day. You might say, I was exhausted after work. Exhausted means very tired. The next day you might say, I was energetic in the morning. Energetic means full of energy. Opposites again. Say them both. Exhausted, energetic. Your brain connects them. Another activity is to notice sound patterns. Many English words that describe sounds often sound like the thing they are describing. For example, buzz is the sound of a bee or a phone. Bang is the sound of something hitting. Crash is the sound of something breaking. And whisper is soft, just like the sound itself. Repeat with me. Buzz, bang, crash, whisper. When you say them, listen to the sound you are making. The word itself teaches you its meaning. Now, let's place them in sentences. The phone buzzed on the table. The door banged shut. The glass crashed to the floor. She whispered my name. Can you hear the sound as you repeat each one? That's how sound-based learning works. You've seen how context, feelings, sounds, actions, and patterns all work together to guide you. Every sentence is like a small puzzle. When you slow down, notice the clues, and connect them with your imagination, the meaning becomes clear. Think back on what we practiced together. You learned how to use stories to guess words. You learned how prefixes and suffixes can unlock meaning. You discovered how synonyms, opposites, and even sound patterns can help you. You practiced shadowing sentences, connecting words to emotions, and acting them out with your body. With each exercise, you trained your brain to trust itself, to stop translating, to stop panicking, and to think directly in English. This change does not happen in one day. It grows slowly, like a tree. Every time you hear or read a new word, you have two choices. You can stop, feel frustrated, and reach for a dictionary. Or you can smile, take a breath, and say, "Let me guess, let me discover." If you choose the second option again and again, your brain will become stronger. Soon, words that once felt scary will feel natural. Let's do one more story together before we finish. Listen carefully. The storm raged outside all night. The windows rattled, the trees swayed, and the thunder boomed. In the morning, the sky was calm and clear. The new words might be raged, rattled, swayed, and boomed. But you can figure them out from the story. A storm that's very powerful? That means it raged. Windows making noise in the wind? They rattled. Trees moving from side to side? They swayed. And thunder making a loud sound? That means it boomed. Without any translation, you understood them all. Repeat the sentences with me slowly. The storm raged. The windows rattled. The trees swayed. The thunder boomed. Feel the story, see the picture, and the words will never leave you. This is how you keep growing. Read every day. Listen every day. And most importantly, notice everything every day. Don't rush to translate. Pause, look at the clues, and let your brain do the work. It is smarter than you think. The more you trust it, the faster you will become fluent. Now I want you to practice even after this video ends. Tonight, when you read something in English, choose one new word and try to guess it from the context. Don't open your dictionary immediately. Instead, write down your guess, and then you can confirm it later. This single habit will train you to be an independent learner. Step by step, your vocabulary will expand naturally. And remember, fluency is not just about knowing words. It's about having confidence and trusting your own thinking. Each time you understand a word on your own, you feel a little stronger. And when you feel stronger, you speak with more ease. That is how fluency grows, through practice, trust, and discovery. And just like that, you've practiced and strengthened one of the most powerful skills in your English learning journey. You've learned to look for clues, to listen to the story, and to trust your own mind to unlock meaning. Remember, every new word is no longer a barrier, but an invitation to practice your new detective skills. Thank you for joining me, Elena, for this lesson on English in Moments. I truly hope you feel more empowered and confident. If this video helped you, please subscribe and join our community of learners who are improving their English every single day. For your first challenge, find a new word today, guess its meaning using these techniques, and share it in the comments below. Keep practicing, stay curious, and remember that fluency is built one moment of discovery at a time. I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson.